Yeah. I've been a little quiet lately, but another freaking night of 3 hours of sleep. Look how red my eyes are. My eyes have been this red this whole trip because I've not slept very well. I just decided to pitch Colin and Samir.
I would love to follow you guys for 48 hours leading up to your first ever Press Publish NYC.
That's in less than a week. And I asked a couple of the crew if they'd be willing to move at a moment's notice, and we've got it locked in. But they're probably not even gonna see this, so it doesn't matter. They responded within an hour of posting the video. They're in, but they're trying to figure out the logistics. There's some
walkthrough days, 530 guests, the boat, early morning CNBC, 2 surprise guests planned, fire code, venue walkthroughs.
boats. Like, you are 100% good to travel.
Unfortunately, I'm booked already.
Wednesday is gonna be our opportunity. It's a Monday travel and a Friday travel.
We're gonna have to be so reactive.
Having no idea where we're gonna be means I have no idea on life.
This is the biggest shoot of my life. I have not yet had a chance to process that entire Colin and Samir shoot. And I got in yesterday and just slept for most of the day. We just climbed a mountain. Like, that was incredibly difficult. It is 1 a.m. Monday, arrival day in New York City. We were operating hour by hour. The best case rig ready to go at any moment. We had to be on our feet all the time. We didn't know the shots. And there was a little bit of an art of trying to stay out of the way, but also trying to get as involved as we could so that we could grab moments from the story. And the number of VIP folks who were involved, we wanted to be sensitive to. And it was very, very difficult. At one point near the end of the shoot, I think the crew and I were getting cranky with each other. I'm telling guys to stand back. They're saying, hey, don't worry about me, I can stand back. And it's just turning into this like push and pull of trying to get the right thing done for the story. And if I'm totally honest, I don't think I had fun on that shoot. That was purely labor. And on top of that, any moment that I really got with Colin and Samir, I just felt like a shell of myself. I was trying to hang conversationally, but I was absolutely exhausted. I'm not locked in. I started to just feel really insecure about even having conversations when all I wanted to say was, guys, this experience is incredible and I don't know what I'm doing. What is happening? But it's gonna be great. And I will say that Colin and Samir, who were also, I think, very busy, this was huge for them. And I think there were moments where even they were behind the scenes getting a little stressed out. How you feeling, Samir?
Actually, weirdly relaxed, because now was nothing I could do.
The fact that they made time for us to be a part of this operation and occasionally reassuring me like, hey man, we have been where you're at, we get it. Just hearing that at moments, I had to like look away for a second because, again, full of exhaustion, trying to manage this situation, it just like immediately made me well up. And I was like, nah, you can't, like, listen, it's fine if you're emotional, we'll talk about it in the vlog. I did not get to show the best version of myself on this trip. I don't even think I got to show a version of myself at all. But like, get it together, friend. Not now, you know? And I hope I get an opportunity to stand on better feet the next time I see them. But it was one of the most memorable experiences of my life. And I've got to imagine Colin and Samir understand the impact that if we do this correctly, will have on our little YouTube operation. The same way Mr. Beast had an impact on their ability to grow and become, you know, one of the top 100 creators on YouTube. This felt like a give back. I have no, illusions that this was, I think, for them, paying it forward. I'm going to remember this moment. The crew that we had, I could not have done it without these absolute pros. These guys, the tolerance for pain that they have put up with this shoot was incredible. And, I told Bernabe, hey, you're gonna come with us. And then Samir said, hey, we'd really like a low footprint.
the pressure to make sure everyone on the crew is top tier so that we don't mess this up is high.
And it came down to it saying, hey, Bernabe, I'm sorry, brother, but like, you can't come to this. And he was bummed, and he was also just so down. He understood, you know, he understood.
And then I slept on that, and I felt fucking terrible about it.
And I was like, I have to bring him. I met Bernabe as the first person I ever brought onto this team as a video editor.
Hi, my name is Bernabe, and I'm an artist.
And he's been with me for 2.5 years now, and he has put up with all of the ups and downs of this operation. And so when I really thought about it, I'm like, this is one of the most monumental moments in this budding studio's history. I said last week was the biggest shoot of my life. Perplexity.
Worked on the logo and the naming at the beginning.
Banging out some of these things.
Pushing it until the work sort of speaks.
This shoot is the biggest week of my life. Bernabe needs to be part of this. He deserves to be. And even though it was gonna cost an extra $4,000 to get him out to New York, that's the kind of thing that just lit my soul on fire in the best way.
But fuck it, man, I am bringing Bernabe.
And Bernabe's story just continues to touch me. He's this guy out of a low-income neighborhood, and he's wanted to get into creating things.
It came from just kind of like a lack of resources. Wanting to make videos, but not having a camera. So I was like, well, I guess I'll draw. Like, I have paper.
He learned to buy the best that he could, small cameras, even making his own things. He thrifts items and makes his own instruments. And it's truly incredible. He never let anything get in his way. And instead, he would just continue to create. And that inspires the absolute hell out of me, man. And so on event day, we're sitting inside of the room, the kind of waiting room where the VIPs are. A lot of the film crews are kind of hanging. Cleo Abram just hanging out, chatting with people. Diary of a CEO, Steven, he's just in there chatting it up, getting mic'd up. Casey Neistat walks in. Cool as hell as usual, right? Glasses on indoors, full of charisma. Couple of younger guys with some cameras. He's immediately chatting them up, loving the attitude. I would love to meet Casey. But if I'm totally honest, everything I've ever created before this entire adventure, Casey would fucking hate. So while I wanted to meet Casey, Bernabe is the kind of person that Casey would love. And Bernabe was the kind of person who deserves to meet someone like that. And so I took an opportunity. As soon as Casey looked at me, it was like he was looking around to keep himself open to people who wanted to say hi for a moment before he had to go on stage. I snatched him up. I said, Casey, I'm gonna introduce you to Bernabe. And immediately they just started talking, and I saw myself out of that, and we caught it on camera. He gives him his badge. He gives him his Instagram. He invites him to message and wants to work with him. You know, I don't know if those are niceties, but it doesn't matter. It made me feel so good to see all of that come full circle. You know, it might just be me who really appreciates the full context of how dope that was, but that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes some of these stories, even if they only resonate with a few people, I still think they're the best fucking story in the world. And I'm really happy that that got to unfold the way it did. So summer's over and I'm taking inventory. We have 30 state of play interviews in the can, waiting to be edited. We are delayed. We are delayed by months. And I'm really getting down on myself about it. I've felt imposter syndrome before. I can't tell if that's what this is. And it's starting to chip away at my ability to show up everywhere. We have had to stall some of our initiatives because of it. I have avoided some text messages that have asked, hey, when does that episode of State of Play come out? I'm not sure yet. And my initial thinking was to record the episodes.
How do these things connect? How do they not connect? Where are they off?
And then release one per week. But what I hadn't thought about is even if we did that, that would put us deep into middle of next year before every one of those things aired. Most of those interviews are timeless though, because unlike other podcasts, we're not advertising their products. And these are some of my favorite products: Figma, Cursor, Granola, things that I really love. But I want to explore the people making them, the inner child of the builders.
Had this innate feeling to understand how things work. So I would take it apart, I'd put it back together, but I might take two things and combine them into one thing.
How people are thinking about building these really wonderful tools. But even more importantly than that, I want State of Play to inspire people. And I'm not really gonna know that until we get feedback on our first few episodes, because feedback loops with customers, with people, the things that tell us that our ideas are working, that the things we're building have purpose. My love, we are so fucking proud of you. We get out there and tell incredible story. Your family is here cheering you on. We love you endlessly. That's like oxygen. I really believe that. And if you don't have those loops for long enough, it's like starving yourself of oxygen. And I am feeling extremely starved for oxygen right now. And people are kind of waiting to see what it's about. And if you saw what I saw, there's a lot happening. It's there. I know it's there. I've been a part of it. I'm building it. But we need to ship it. But I took out a lot of money to create this, and then I spent even more. And now I need to figure out how to balance it all. I thought the UX Tools bundle was gonna bring us closer to being able to handle those problems. I had 1,000 bundles to sell. We only sold 50% of them. Revenue is very uncertain right now. And I feel myself getting down. I feel myself insecure about the future of this business. And there's this little voice in the back of my head that's like, you are going to wipe out. The consequences of your audacity is coming. I don't want to be just another hype man with an empty deliverable. And if I'm not careful, that could be the case.
But I'll be totally honest with you. I don't have a perfect game plan. I'm just, I have a plan.
And I think I might just be 2 partnership contracts and a launched episode away from a big sigh of relief. But we got to get there, and no one is coming to save me. As nice as that would be. As nice as that would be. This entire thing has had some unintended effects on me. I did not expect this to become this spiritual journey for me. Courtney's note says, my human, our little Nora is going to grow up knowing she can achieve anything because she gets to watch her dada make all of his dreams a reality. And I am not a person of faith. I derive a lot of meaning out of what I can create with my hands and how I can contribute that to the communities I'm a part of.
Hey, go camp!
That's kind of my faith. But as I left the Colin and Samir shoot in New York City, I got a text from Samir that said, I hope you find some fun in the process, or I hope you find something in the process. And I just kept that thought on repeat until I got to Rids. It is Sunday, and I am in good old Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's something about seeing how somebody grows up and meeting the people they surround themselves with and learning their own little pocket of culture that makes you go, it makes sense why that person is so extraordinary. Why they're working on something extraordinary, or why their characters and values are so extraordinarily worth pursuing.
I was literally made to be creative. Like, that is me operating in the fullness of my identity.
And I'm sitting at the table with Rid and his family. His dad sits up straight and he kind of pauses. And he says, when we create, we're getting closer to our creator. Something about the timing of when he said that nearly brought me to tears. I don't think Red realized it.
I have adopted this phrase that I've kind of taken with me forever, which is like, everything that I'm trying to do is like with my creator, for my creator, and through my creator is kind of how I operate.
And I haven't been able to stop thinking about that. Why am I doing this? Why pursue this? Why take all of the money out of my business account to pursue this short series that may not perform, that has no financial backing, to tell these stories? I'm still answering that question, but there's a conviction there. We are close. We are very close. Chop wood and carry water.